just finished laying out everything that I'm going to bring on my bikepacking tour, which is a 3-day, 2-night trip. And I'm going to show you all the stuff that I'm bringing, and then I'll show you the bags that it's going into. Now, this is my first ever bikepacking tour. However, I'm not new to backpacking, so I've packed for overnight trips on the trail many times. So I have a pretty good idea of what I'm going to need. So let's take a look at the stuff I'm bringing. I'll start with my hammock. So this is a War Bonnet Ridge Runner hammock. It's very light and it's very, very comfortable. And then I've got the poles in this bag here. This hammock did not come with a bag for the poles, which I wish it did, but I got this one from Amazon. Works really well. And then this is my tarp. This is an Eno ProFly XL tarp. It comes with a different stuff sack, but it is so difficult to put that thing in. You have to lay the tarp out and roll it up super tight. So I just got this 9-liter stuff sack to put it in, so I'm not fussing with it in the morning when I want to get up and make breakfast and go ride. Then I've got my Helinox camp chair. I have to have a chair at a campsite. We're going to be at some campgrounds. I don't know what's going to be there. There could be some picnic benches. There could not be. But I like bringing this chair. It's so light and small. It's definitely worth bringing if I can fit it. And then I've got my top quilt. So this is actually a 0-degree Outdoor Vitals top quilt. And I have to add at least 20 degrees to a temperature rating. So it's supposed to be in the 40s. And I have a top quilt that's not quite as cold. It's 40 to 60 degrees. I'm not sure which one I'm going to bring yet. I think I'm going to bring this one, but I'm going to check the weather one last time before I head out in the morning and see if it's truly going to get in the 40s or not. If it's going to be in the 50s, then I'll bring my other quilt, which is an Eno Spark. And then I've got my under quilt in this dry bag. And it's in a dry bag because I actually strap this on top of my rack. And that way, you know, it doesn't get wet. We're not supposed to have any rain on this trip, which is great. And then I've got this pillow. This is a Nemo pillow. Very, very comfortable. I've got little inflatable pillows that are much smaller, but this one has some padding and it's just much more comfortable. I have to have a comfortable pillow. All right, moving along. I've got all my toiletries in there, you know, toothbrush, toothpaste, dental floss, contact solution, shampoo, soap, that kind of thing. I'm going to bring my GoPro so I can document this trip. I've got an extra battery there that I'm bringing. And then this is very important. This is my charge bank with all kind of cables, USB-C, USB micro B, and iPhone charger, Lightning. And then I've got my water filter. This is an MSR water filter. And then I've got an MSR Pocket Rocket stove in this little thing here. Very small and compact. Fuel canister, of course. And then I'm bringing one pot. This comes in a set with some other pots and a lid. All I need is one pot to boil water and eat oatmeal out of. And it's got a little pot holder, a little measuring cup, because I'm going to show you my food here in a minute. I need to measure my water. Cigarette lighter. And then, of course, a headlamp for night. I'm going to bring a book just in case. I think I can fit this. If I can't, I have my phone with me. I can read off that. And then, of course, toilet paper and a trowel is in there. I don't know if we're going to have access to bathrooms the entire trip, but just in case, or you never know when nature's going to call when you're out riding. So, got to have that. And then I've got my clothing. So this is all going to go in my seat pack. It may be more clothing than I need, but really it's just a pair of sweatpants, 2 shirts for the campsite in case I get sweaty in one, and then I'm bringing 2 riding kits. So, well, 3. I'll have one on me for the first day. I could probably wash my riding kit and wear it a couple times. I don't want to do that. In my riding clothing, I've got gloves and socks and vest. I don't need to bring a rain jacket on this one. There is 0% chance of rain for 3 days. We had a cold front come through today with a bunch of rain, and it's going to be really nice and clear for this ride. I've got, you know, like some gloves and a hat. And then I've got this Outdoor Vitals kind of puffy jacket, down puffy jacket that packs up really small. Since it's going to be in the 40s, you know, I want to be comfortable sitting around the campsite. That's the only insulation I'm bringing. The shirts that I'm bringing are just thin, long sleeve shirts, but that's my only insulation for the campsite. But again, it's so light and so small. And then just various things like bug spray, sunscreen, chamois cream, super important for riding 210 miles. I got some lip balm. Going to bring a credit card. Visa is probably the best way to go. It's accepted in most places. And then 30 bucks cash. That's for getting lunch and whatnot. And then some nylon cord. You never know. Probably have to hang up my food. to keep it away from raccoons. I don't think there's going to be bears, but there could be. And then in that bag right there is my bike tools. And so I've got things like a pump, tire lever, tube. I've got some stands fluid. I've got my multi-tool, that kind of thing. Anything that you need to repair your bike or tire when you're riding. I'm going to bring my Garmin Varia, which is actually charging, and that's a clip. Because I cannot put it on the seat post, I've got that clip that will clip it onto the back of my jersey or a bag, because I will definitely have a Garmin Varia. And then that's a small little towel for, after I shower at night. There are showers, I believe. I hope so. We're camping by a river, so the worst case is I just bathe in the river, but I believe there's going to be showers at the campground. And then earplugs for the campground. You never know how loud it's going to be. I want a good night's sleep. And then I've also got some melatonin around here. I think it's in my toiletry bag over there. So bringing some melatonin just in case. And now for food. So I've got a big bag of trail mix. I've got oatmeal for each morning already pre-measured with raisins, cinnamon, almond slivers, and some ground flaxseed. I put it in a bowl, measured it out, and then poured it into a bag. I've got some noon electrolyte tablets that I can put in my water bottles. And then I've got some vitamins in there. Things like B12, vitamin D, quercetin, turmeric. And then I've got my camp food. So I'm bringing actually 4 camp meals. I probably don't need that many because I think we're doing a spaghetti dinner. But just in case I want to do a hot lunch, we're going to stop a bunch on this. It's not a race. It's just a social bikepacking tour. And so in case I want to make a lunch and I can't find a good restaurant, I've got, of course, my fuel and pot over there, and then I can make some hot food. And then for dinner, I'm bringing a whole bunch of Cliff nut butter bars, chocolate peanut butter, and that's just going to be my ride snacks during the ride. The only thing I'm not showing here is I'm going to make some peanut butter and honey sandwiches, one for tomorrow's ride, and then maybe an extra one for the next day, just because I'm so used to eating peanut butter and honey. I got to make my bread tonight, so it's not ready yet. And then these little healthy, very low sugar little chocolate cookies that I get in my local grocery store. And then I think I'm going to bring these shoes. I was going to bring flip-flops, but low 50s, upper 40s at the campsite may be a little cold for flip-flops. So I've got a pair of socks, and I'm going to bring those shoes. Helmet is a Giro, and then my trusty Tifosi sunglasses. I've got a lot of different lenses for my Tifosi glasses. These are the Clarion Blue Phototech, so they get darker in the sun. I don't know if I'm going to be riding early in the morning, that kind of thing, and don't want full sunglasses. So that's the lens that I'm choosing for this particular ride. So that is all the gear, and then it's going to go into these bags. I've already got my checklist with what's going to go in what bag, so we'll see how that works. So that's my seat bag. All the clothing will go in there. I've got these little Ortlieb fork packs, and then I've got the rear saddle bags, and then I've got the handlebar bag. And the handlebar bag will hold basically my hammock, my tarp, and my camp chair. Maybe even the poles for the hammock can go in that handlebar bag. It's much more roomy than it looks. And so now it's time to pack everything in the bags. And here is the bike all loaded up, already underway on the ride, but everything's there. 6 bags. And a top quilt strapped to the outside, or that's the under quilt. Top quilt's in the bag. And the shoes strapped on the back. So that's my gear list, and I'm actually recording this closing scene after the tour, and I would say I was packed pretty well. I could have brought a little less clothing. There was a shirt that I didn't use. I brought 2 pair of underwear. I probably only need to bring 1. And then I brought the 2 extra bike kits, which I probably could have just used one, the one that I was wearing, and then washed it every night. Maybe brought 2. It didn't take up that much weight, but it did take up some space. I actually did not need to bring the water filter. It was nice to be prepared, but there was ample water along the way, and then at the campsite we had really good water. Also good bathrooms. I did not need to bring a whole roll of toilet paper. I could have just used a little bit. I did have to use it one time, but just once. And so it's only natural to bring a little bit too much your first tour. It's like backpacking, right? The first time I went backpacking, I had way too much stuff, and as I kept doing it, I kept bringing less and less stuff to where I just needed the essentials. And since it was my first bikepacking tour, again, it's only natural that I brought a little bit too much, but that's just kind of the way it goes. I brought 4 camp meals that you saw. I probably would have used all 4 except for the fact that I did not eat dinner the first night because I had such a big lunch. And then the second night was a spaghetti dinner that was cooked for us. But I did cook 2 camp meals at lunch on 2 of the days because the food was not a great option for me. I'm pretty particular about my food. So 4 camp meals was appropriate for a 3-day tour. So I ended up eating most of my food on that tour. And so, yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Bikepacking is becoming a whole new series on my channel, so I'll put some of the videos of the tour down below. And I'll be doing some bag reviews and whatnot. So thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video.